why, oh why, didn't I take the blue pill?
I know, but it's not healthy for you.
I never really considered crime on campus before. Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio, the only show that allows cast members to do Cossack dancing in cowboy boots.
Pretty sure they think you're joking, Dad.
It's absolutely true. Elijah Cossack dances in Tony Lama cowboy boots. We want to give a shout out to our new and old listeners in the Czech Republic, Thailand, and France.
Dad, that was geographically difficult because we went from Europe to the Pacific and back to Europe.
Okay. Today we're going to be talking about things that your kids might be doing in college that you don't know about. We've got our special cast member, Caleb, in the studio. How's it going today, Caleb?
It's going pretty well.
All right. And which college are you at?
Colorado State University.
The state university that shall not be named by its rivals. We'll be back in just a minute.
Comedy Parenting Radio. Because you need to laugh.
Since you've been gone, well, it feels like I'm getting tetanus shots every day. Since you've been gone, it's like I got an ice cream headache that won't go away. Ever since the day you left me, I've been so miserable, my dear.
No, don't confuse the Broncos with CSU Rams. Unless you want to think like loser versus loser.
I think of it more of like two loser buddies going out and having a great time.
This is cool. I've got all four Begley sons here with me in the studio. Caleb, Joshua, Elijah, and Josiah. Caleb's back from college here for a little break. And we're going to talk about some things that parents might not really know that their kids are doing in school, hey?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, are you going to be ratting out on people, or is it just going to be, this is more generic?
Well, here's how it works, right? All the stuff that you learn as an undergrad, there's a little bit of a limit as far as how much you can talk about, but 1 year after graduation, you can talk anything you want to say about undergrads.
So this is like a tell-all book, sort of?
Yeah, totally. Tell everything and all the secrets, all the dirty secrets about what your undergrad might be doing that you don't know about.
Okay, wait, kick us off with something here.
Well, so let's go back to kind of one of the fundamental things when it comes to parenting, right? What is one of the things when you first have a newborn baby or something like that, you have to really work with the kids to establish?
Potty training?
Okay, we'll go the other route. What about sleep schedule?
Oh, sleep schedule, yeah.
Yeah, so, babies tend to want to stay up and party at all hours, and you got to put them to bed and say, nope, you got to sleep. Well, it turns out that pops back up when they go to be undergrads.
It pops back up.
Yeah. Instead of going and keep maintaining the strict 8 p.m. bedtime every night.
Some parents are very, very strict about that.
Yeah. Your undergrad may be staying up later than 8 p.m. at the night. They could be staying up till like 9:30 or sometimes even as late as 10 o'clock.
Really?
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. That's a later bedtime than I get.
I know, but it's not healthy for you.
That's
you got to get the
unconscionable.
17 hours of sleep each night.
It never occurred to me that people aren't going to bed when I go to bed.
Yeah.
Which is 6:30. No wonder it's so noisy. Wow. Up at school here. You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, things your kids might be doing at college that you don't know about.
And now, Radio Card Tricks with Elijah the Underwhelmingly Fantastic.
This is the part where you step up to the microphone and do your card trick.
I shall now do something to dazzle your imaginations. If I could please get a randomly selected audience member. Me. Alrighty, you there in the bib overalls and the bonnet. Alright, come on up here. Alrighty, sir, what is your name?
My name is Elvis Kermit Presley.
Well, Mr. Kermit Presley, can you please check out this deck of cards and ensure that there's nothing wrong with them at all?
He made his accent disappear.
Alrighty, now hand me back the cards. Thanks. Alrighty. everyone out there in Radioland, think of a card, any card. I'm not going to force a card on you at all. Just think of a card. Take that card and paste it right to your forehead. Did you do it? Okay, that should be good. Okay, well, Mr. Preston, now that they have their card selected, can you please give this deck a quick shuffle?
Okay, they've been thoroughly shuffled.
Alright, now, Mr. Presburn, would you be so kind as to tell me a number from, let's say, 1 to 20?
21.
That's not what I said, but we'll do that. Alright. I'm now going to fan them out, and you are going to pick out the 21st card, okay?
Okay. 1, 2,
No.
3,
This is gonna take all day. Hold on.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, there's 20 cards. Now pick out the 21st card. Don't let me see it. Hide it. Now hold it up to the microphone so that everyone out in Radioland can hear what it looks like. Is that your card, ladies and gentlemen, or am I a really bad magician?
That's the one I was thinking about.
I was thinking of that very card.
I don't know about that, Shirley.
That's his card.
Comedy Parenting Radio with Jerry Begley.
Okay, you're back with Comedy Parenting Radio. This is the middle segment of the show. This is where it really gets meaty. Mm-hmm. Anything about food or eating that we should know about?
Oh, absolutely. So this is something that a lot of people don't realize. But when you're a kid, you're told, oh, no, you can only have, 1 scoop of ice cream. Or maybe you can have candy, but you can only have 1 a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to college, there's no limitation on that.
Really?
What do you mean?
Like, you could literally go to college, and you could buy a tub of ice cream and eat it in an evening if you wanted to. And some undergraduates do.
You're making me want to go to college now.
Hold on. You just sit down and eat those peas while we're talking. And that broccoli, too.
And candy, too. There's no one there to tell you how much candy you should eat in a day.
Are you speaking from experience?
I'm not totally speaking from experience.
Well, then, related to that, what's Halloween like for college students?
Halloween is a chance to dress up and go around and smash mailboxes. And nobody knows who you are because you're dressed up in costume.
That superhero just smashed my mailbox, Edna. But what about eating candy on Halloween or getting candy? Or
there's a problem.
I have a theory.
Go for it.
If I were a college student, I would buy, hey, Dad, I'm going to have a bunch of trick-or-treaters come to my house. Can you send me $100 for candy? Then you buy $100 for candy, and you don't have any trick-or-treaters, and you know you weren't going to have any trick-or-treaters. You just want to have $100 worth of candy in your house.
It's actually a good idea. I should write that down for later.
Scratch that. I never said that.
So next year, Dad, I'm thinking of actually letting the trick-or-treaters come to my house. But going back to dietary stuff, right?
Yes.
There are even worse things. So let's imagine for a second that you had a kid that you raised trying to keep them from eating anything with additional added sugar.
Sugar?
Any added sugar. There are some parents that will keep their kids from eating any additional added sugar.
Are you talking white processed sugar?
Yes, the very same. Anything that is super white and processed sugar added. And those kids, when they get to college, sometimes they'll eat food, particularly at the cafeterias, that has added sugar.
Oh my goodness.
Really? Like coffee or something?
Yes. They'll even put sugar in their coffee.
They don't participate in City Market Free Donut Day after the Broncos win, do they?
I don't know.
Do you know if they have just bowls of sugar in the cafeteria just to add to the stuff to make the cafeteria food taste good?
They don't just have bowls of sugar. They have them in these little glass pitchers that you can just pour sugar out of.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. Things that your kids might be doing in college that you don't know about. And we'll be right back.
So far away from me, so far I just can't see.
Howdy, all of you kings, lords, and pheasants. Are you being raided by Picts on Thursdays and Huns on Saturday nights?
If so, boy, have we got the solution for you.
Introducing
Castle in a Box. A complete castle fortress complex in a box.
that you and your lady can set up in an afternoon.
It comes with simple directions.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
1,
You mow a big green square out on your lawn.
2,
You cut the box open with a sharp knife.
3,
You match up the colored tabs to the colored slits.
and 4.
You affix them together using the included Scottish tape. Here's a testimonial from one of our satisfied customers.
I ordered the castle in the box and set it up in one easy afternoon. I was able to keep the Viking ballet troupe at bay for 2 months until they got rips in their tights and had to leave.
So order your box of Castle in a Box today.
Castle in a box. Never accept substitutes.
Castle in a Box is not intended for usage in any areas with precipitation. Castle in a Box is not effective against Rat King and Sword. Castle in a Box may actually attract rodents. Do not attempt to barbecue in your backyard while using Castle in a Box. Colorblind people should not order Castle in a Box unless recommended by their doctor. Side effects may include dizziness, nausea, and not being invited to real castles. Attempting to fight fire-breathing dragons while in Castle in a Box may void warranty.
Comedy Parenting Radio.
Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this. Ha!
So we're going to talk a little bit about criminal activities that your kids may be participating in at
What do you mean
college.
criminal activities?
It's a very solemn thing.
I'm the innocent bystander.
But a lot of undergrads will participate in criminal activities, and they just think, well, as long as they don't get caught, or as long as they don't get caught by campus police, and then they're fine.
My mind is running rampant right now. What could it be?
Well, believe it or not, students, when they are going down the road into college, all the time I see them, they go through stop signs on skateboards and bikes without stopping.
They don't stop.
Are you kidding
They don't stop.
me?
They just go right through it. Now, granted, there are
You're
no
joking,
cars
right?
coming in on the crossway. It's a stop sign that's just put in the middle of a big, long stretch of road. But they don't actually stop at the stop sign.
You're joking, right?
No.
What about all the bicycle rodeos that they went to when they were children where the police showed them how to go through the cones and stop and use hand signals and all that?
I hope those officers don't know them now.
Their mothers would be ashamed to see them doing that.
Even worse, there are sometimes these long sections of road with no crosswalks, and they'll jaywalk.
Why isn't this reported in the campus newspapers?
Well, the campus newspapers is run by undergraduates.
I never really considered crime on campus before.
Yeah, crime runs rampant. There are people that are out past curfew. There are people that are out, going through stoplights. There are people that are occasionally riding their bikes without a headlight.
What about showing up to class on time?
Well, that's a really big problem. Even worse is when the students don't show up at all and they only show up for the tests. I had a class that had 65 students in it, and the average daily attendance was 4 people.
How can you just show up for a test?
Well, there's no grade on attendance.
Ugh.
Also, the median score on those tests were about 30%.
Oh.
We are not getting our money's worth with our kids.
No.
What about living situations? Like apartments or dorms or under the bridge or what? Winnebago's what?
Oh man. Well, this might be a little bit on the too exposing side, but CSU had a big issue with living arrangements this past year.
Ugh.
So you think you're sending your kid to college, right? And you booked them for one of the really nice dorms there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money
I
every
was in
month.
a nice dorm.
Super expensive, right?
Huh.
They sold more rooms than they had this past year.
Is this CSU Airlines or what is it?
There were students this past semester that were living on cots and beds in the basements of these places or in the study spaces because they overbooked them.
Okay, you've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, talking about things that kids might be doing in school that you're not aware of. Thanks for being in the studio here today, gang.
You're welcome.
Keep an eye out for stray cat hairs on your kids' coats.
Bye-bye.
There's got to be a trick to it.